Guitar Academy. In this episode I'm going to be doing some experimenting with sound. Now I've been doing videos for quite a while. I've posted quite a few to my YouTube channel, and one of the most challenging things about doing video is sound. How to get good quality sound, how to get the right levels, not too loud, not too soft. So right now I'm set at -6 dB on the sound level of the camera, and I'm going straight in through the inbuilt microphone on the camera. The camera that I'm using is a Lumix S5. That's what I'm recording right in front of me. So that's a full frame camera. The other camera that I have is also a Lumix, and it's a G95. So the G95 is a micro 4/3. So let's try this sound. So this is just the onboard mic, and then I'll pause the video, and then I'll try it with a Rode hot shoe mounted shotgun mic that looks like a Rode hot shoe mounted mic that looks like this. You use a 3.5mm balanced input. It just goes into the mic jack of your camera. So let's mount this and see what difference it makes. So now I have the shotgun mic, the Rode shotgun mic. It's just a pretty basic shotgun mic that you can find just about anywhere. It has a shock mounted mic holder, I should say. And shock mount is good because it reduces the vibration of the mic itself, so you're not picking up noise from the vibrations of the mic or wind, or if you're moving it around. Now the next part of the experiment, recently I purchased a Zoom H6. And the H6, as the name implies, has 6 inputs. Native to the body of this unit has 4 inputs. So I'm going to turn on this other camera over here. Alright. So as you can see from this view, you have XLR inputs on this side, and there's XLR inputs on the other side. So you can actually line in using a patch cord or using XLR cables, which are standard mic cables. So that's going to be the next part of the experiment. So I'm going to unplug the Rode shotgun mic that's mounted right on top of the camera, and then we're going to interface using the Zoom. So the Zoom, you can either use an SD card or interface directly into your camera. There's a little out port right here, and it's what I'm using is just an extension cord that I purchased from Amazon. So it's just one of these things. Whoops. Where am I? There we go. One of those things, and I'm going to use the cable that came with the shotgun mic and just go straight into the camera, but using the Zoom as my interface. And behind me I have, you can't see it on camera, but I have above, I have a, just lower it down so you can see it. It's an Audio Technica, a shotgun mic as well, but this one is needs phantom power. So you have to, the Zoom has the ability to give 5, 12, and 48 direct volts of phantom power, because this type of mic requires power because it's not a passive mic, it's an active mic, very sensitive to sound. So I'm going to be using the natural onboard what do you call it, XY mics that come with the Zoom, and I'm going to then turn on the boom mic. I also have lapel mics, but I didn't want to do that for this experiment because that would be a bit much. And I'm also going to try playing my guitar. I have an acoustic guitar beside me, so I'm going to try playing it live, and then add on the boom, and then add on line in from the guitar, just to experiment and see how the different sounds, how it affects the record quality of the audio. So if you give me a second, I'm going to pause the video again and get set up for the Zoom. So for this portion of the video, I'm using the sound from the G95 Lumix. First I have to turn on my Zoom, if I can remember how to do that. Oh yeah, it's on the side. So you just like that. And what I really like about this little device, it has an LED readout for each. There's a 4-channel readout for sound because of 4 native inputs, and then you just turn on which mic you want to use using these ports over here. And then I have to turn on to go into the menu, which is on that side, and then turn on how do I do this again? Oh yeah, there's a little scroll button on the side, and then on the readout on the display it says phantom power, so I just if you can see that, and then I just scroll down to where it says phantom power. I'm on track 3 for the boom mic. Turn it on. Menu return. And then I have to go back and go to voltage. It's not the most user friendly. There we go. Phantom power, voltage, 48. Sorry, it's already set to 48. I'm not sure if you can see that too well on the camera, but I've gone into the menu, set it to 48. So that's what I need for that mic up there. And to get back out, I just hit menu again, menu, and then we're back onto the main screen. So, to get started, I'm going to, there we go, check, and then now I'm on, I had it on the wrong input, so I just adjusted the input on my S5 camera. So to turn on the XY mics up here, I gotta press L and R. So now I've turned those on, and the sound level is pretty low, so I can adjust the sound level up here. It's at 1, so I turn it up, and it's picking up, even though I'm standing behind the camera, because I'm looking at my monitor to make sure I have the right level. So I'm behind it, and so now I've turned it up to level 4. I've just set it to 4. So this is the native sound that comes with the XY mic, and I can see that I'm actually clipping a little bit, so I'm gonna have to turn that down just a touch. Turn it down to, oh, I didn't have it at 4, I had it at 7. So I've turned it down to 6. That's a little bit better. I'm not clipping anymore. I'm just touching the yellow, which is what you want to do for any type of recording. So that's just with the XY. So now let's turn on, adjust that down, and turn on channel 3. See how that affects things. So I have 2. My 3 is down very low, so I'll turn that up. Check, and yeah, so now the boom mic is, and now I'm peaking too much. I have to turn that down. And so my overhead condenser mic is set to 5, and I just saw I'm clipping, so I have to turn that down even more. This is one thing I found about the zoom, it's extremely sensitive. So turning it down even more, so I'm set at 3.5. So now I can, because I have an external monitor, in case you're wondering, I have a Lilliput 7-inch monitor mounted off to the side of the main camera that I'm recording with. So I've set that to be able to see my line levels, and I got my condenser mic above me and the XY in front of me. I don't even have headphones on, so I'm just going by visual guidance here and seeing how it's going to sound afterwards. So again, the camera is set to -6 dB. That's the input level, and I've set my boom mic above me, which is a Audio Technica, pretty cheap shotgun mic. I didn't spend much on that, it was $250. And then the XY mic that are standard for the Zoom H6. Now, one thing I should mention is that the H6 has the ability to pull the XY off, and they sell separate mics. They also have a cardioid type if you want to pick up a wider range of sounds. I don't know what advantage that would give, because the XY is just fine. You can adjust it to 90, an angle of 90 degrees or 120 degrees. I think the XY mic that comes standard with it would be more than enough. And then you can also have a shotgun mic that clips right into that port. So that's this port up here. So you just press these two buttons on the side, and it pops right out. So let's try playing the guitar and see how that sounds. I've just made up a little tune, just a D, C, and a G, and see how that sounds. So this is just the XY mic and my boom mic, and later I already have my cable attached to the guitar. I'm going to line in and then see how that goes. So I've just noticed that I'm actually clipping a little bit. I'm going into the red while I was playing. So I'm going to have to probably, if I line in, I'm going to have to turn it down even more. So that just goes to show how sensitive the preamps are. Because the XY I'm set at 6, and just to reiterate, the condenser is now at 3.5, and I'm picking up a really large amount of sound. So I'm going to now, I can do this live, because the inputs, you only turn on the inputs by pressing the button on top. So that's a big advantage. So then I've done that, and then because I have line level, I can actually check to see how loud I am. And on the guitar itself, alright, and then I'm going to turn this volume way down, because I know how sensitive these things are. I turn this down to nothing, and I'm going to turn it on and 1. So 1 is now on. So if you can see, there's LR is the red dots on top, LR for this, 3 for my boom mic over here, which is still recording. I just touched it to make sure it's still picking up, and then 1, because I have the sound down to 0, it's not picking up anything, obviously. I have it on tune, that's why. That's why it's not. I had my guitar on tuner, I forgot. Stupid, that's an amateur mistake for sure. So now it's set at 4, and the volume on my guitar, not sure if you can see that, I've got it set right to the middle. Right there, so just set the volume to middle. This is just a Fender Kingman I've had forever. So I'm pretty satisfied with just going into the yellow. So let's try that tune again. So now I'm fully mic'd everywhere, and plus I got a line in. So now I'm really going into the red. So we're gonna have to turn this down, and then turn my XY down. That's too much. I'm picking up way too much sound, so I'm going to turn off. I've just turned off the condenser. I'm still going into the red. And I'll turn this down to 3. So that's way too much. So I'm gonna have to actually turn off. Well, that was an interesting experiment. I can see now that going line in is pretty challenging using an acoustic, because I have my volume way down on the acoustic, and the volume on the channel 1 is at 2.5. So, I mean, I don't know how much lower I can go before maybe I have to turn down, before I do line in, I'm going to have to turn down the input level on the camera. Probably that's the reason why. So it's an interesting experiment. It's something I'm going to have to keep on working on, but just for what I do a lot of are interview videos. So I've even turned off my boom mic, so let's in the boom mic. So what I do a lot of are interview videos, and I'm just wondering now if I might be able to get away without using the lapel mics, because usually I'll have a lapel mic and a boom, but if I'm loud enough just using the XY that's native to the Zoom, I have the Zoom mounted on a tripod. I've got 3 tripods in front of me, and I just mount this on a mic stand because I'm sitting down. I could just extend the mic stand all the way up. And well, that's my sound experiment for now. I'm going to turn on line. Turn off the line in. Just, you might be interested to know what's going on in front of me, so I'm going to pick up one of my cameras here and give you a little tour. So I zoom back out. That's the camera I've been using. So the mic on there is disabled. It's now going through the zoom, and then that's my monitor. The background is just a TV, of course. I have to turn this down there. So that's the monitor, and that's the zoom. That's my S5, and above me is the boom mic mounted on a mic stand, just like that. And I'm just in my basement, so there's a bunch of crap all over the place. Typical basement. So that's the end of the video. I mean, that's all I wanted to show, and at the same time experiment for myself, because I'm doing another interview coming up in a few days, and I just wanted to make sure I knew how to use the Zoom and how it would behave in a live recording situation. So thank you for joining me on the Intune Guitar Academy, and I hope this video helps in your video production. I know a lot of you out there that are on YouTube also do your own videos, so I learn from other people. I hope you can learn from my experiences as well. Again, thanks for joining me on the Intune Guitar Academy. Have a great day.